to say hello, popping in to check in. I know I'm not sure if I had told you all about the book launch last week, 2 weeks ago, Monday, and my book is now up and running. Let me put it on the screen behind me. Hold on. Let me put it on the screen behind me. Yes, let me put my book on the screen behind me. I'm not sure if you all know, but I am the author. I am the author of the book Finding Joy in the Dirt. And I am a born Jamaican. I know you have all the questions. A lot of people send me some Q&A, so I'm going to answer them all by myself. I'm going to answer them. So the first question is, what is your name? So my name is Phoebe Tomlinson. I was married and my previous name is Edwards. So Phoebe Tomlinson, I am the author. Yes, I am the author of the book Finding Joy in the Dirt, Dirt Personified. And I did a virtual book launch on the 24th of March. We did a virtual book launch and we had an amazing evening. Go back and watch NRP Radio. You're going to find NRP Radio coming out of Jamaica from the bless up man, Leon Nash, of course, where we did the launch and we had an amazing evening. I spoke about hurt, triaged, and healed. I am excited to take you on this journey. Of course, in the near future, we will be taking the road. We will be taking the road and just course correct and put myself out there so people can listen to my story. I hear their story, and we uplift each other as we move along. But that is what is happening in the next chapter, so to speak. uh where were you born? That's the second question. Where were you born? I was born in Grove Place District. No, I was born in Mandeville. I'm from Manchester, Jamaica. So in Jamaica, we have parishes, right? In Jamaica, we have parishes. So my parish is Manchester. So I was born in the regional hospital, Mandeville Hospital, and I grew up in Grove Place District, Manchester. And the third question is, which school did you attend? I attended the Mile Gully All Age School at the time. I went to the high school. After graduating from there, I went to Management Institute for National Development. I have diplomas in supervisor management. I have diploma in public speaking. I have so much certificates and diplomas. But I went to Mind and yeah, and of course I tell the fourth question is, tell us about your upbringing. So I worked at the post office. That's the New Green Post Office. For a little stint, I worked there. Hi, good morning. I worked there for a little while. And then, hey there, I'm just answering some questions that persons have sent over to me for me to answer. Of course, I am the author of this book, Finding Joy in the Dirt, Dirt Personified. And of course, I'm a born Jamaican and live in the United States. Yes, live in the United States. I'm a youth development counselor and I have worked. Let me go back to the question before I go ahead of myself. Um, so yes, I. The fourth question is, tell us about um, where you grew up. Where I grew up in Manchester, Jamaica. It was very very hard. My parents were preachers, were preachers of the gospel, pastors, and they basically taught us like how to love people, how to not to take things personal, how to treat others basically the way how we want to be treated. Yes, I'm gonna drop the book information in the chat before I close out. And passion for Christ because of the, the parents. Hey, passion for Christ because of the parents. Hey, basketball God, whoever that is, love you. Oh, bless your heart, bless your heart. Well, I'm gonna drop my website in the chat. I'm gonna drop my website in the chat, and where you'll be able to jump in and basically, yep, I'm gonna drop my website in the chat when we're finished, okay? Yeah, so yeah, so that's where I grew up in Jamaica, and like my the places that I've worked is just so much, but I'm gonna answer that. I think that's the last question. What are some of the places that you work? So the the fifth question, no, I was still on the fourth question. Like, tell us about where you grew up. I grew up in Jamaica. My parents were like ardent hard workers. I saw my father, he did mason. He was so astute at what he did, but like I said in the book, my parents, they did not, get a lot of support and all of that, and so they just loved the Lord. Did things, just volunteer on a whole. Just did a lot of stuff for people, and got along. Church was their like forte. They loved the church. They were at church like every Sunday. My father had a church. He built a church, and yes, he built a church, and he was like so amazing in what he does. He would get up. He was illiterate. My father could not like read and write. It's funny. My father could not, read and write. But what he did though, what my father did was he could read the Bible. Don't ask me like how he did that, but he did. He read the Bible, and he would have my mother read the Bible, but there were places in the Bible that he knew, and he just went ahead and did that. My mother, she was a seamstress. She made her clothes. She sewed, in the community and stuff like that. But it wasn't a whole lot, that she did. And but she kept the home clean. She would go out and minister. Anybody had a funeral, homegoing service in the community, my mother was there for them. She was like a big support system. That's who my mother was. Oh, thank you so much. You want to donate, I'll drop the information in the chat. And then and then what she did was, she she would take us to school. She would make sure that we got that education, and make sure that when we were out there we would be cared for. We wouldn't be just like out on the street. You know how some children would be out there, out of control. No, she taught us well. And so we were able to go to school, well, I grew up like going to school. We got like free lunches because we were so poor. Um, we were so poor. I'm just asking y'all a question. Are you logging in from? We were so poor. And so, but my mother, she kept the home. She kept the home. She was like, my ride or die. I ride or die, and just have such an amazing spirit. That was my mommy, But so that's where, I got the inspiration from, to create this book, write this book. Um, and to let it be a staple in our homes, let it be a staple, in the community, for those who cannot afford certain things, for those who are struggling, for those who have been through a rough patch in their lives, for those who have seen the status quo and don't even know how to get over it. So I wrote this book for that reason, for people like those who have struggled in life, and who have a story to tell. And if you go on my other page where I do candid conversation, you would see some people that I've had interviews with. And later down in the year, we will be traveling, like doing all of these interviews that I have promised you in candid conversation with Phoebe on my other page. I'm so excited to write this book and to be just talking about it, talking about it holistically. This book will help you to balance that, that rejection. That book will help you to balance that hurt. This book will help you to balance that pain. Whatever you're going through, or evil, this book will help you to be able to tell your story, so to speak, because a lot of people, sometimes they gravitate off of other people's energy, so they too can tell their story, they too can relate. So that's where I am at with this book. I am excited. I don't know if you are excited, if you're excited with me, but I want you to be excited with me, because this book, I just did the launch, and I'm going, like I said, I'm going places with this book. It's not just going to stay one place, it's going to go places with me. Um, so, yes, that was a little bit about where I grew up and stuff like that. So, the sixth question is, how big is my family? So, I had like 11, it was like 11 of us. My sister passed away in 2018. Rest in peace, Adina Tomlinson. She was one of the best, just one of the best sisters anybody could have. And I miss her like every single day. Now it's 10 of us. I have six brothers, and now it's 10 of us. Yeah, six brothers and four sisters of us left. And my mother passed away in the COVID-19 took my mother. And yeah, that's how big my family is. I have a lot of cousins, I have a lot of aunts, nieces, nephews. Um, yeah, I have a lot of family. My family is big. We merge with the Tomlinsons and the Nash. We merge with those family. So I have a big family. Um, where have you worked? Hey, Stacy, where have you worked? I'm just answering some questions because Stacy, I know you just came on. If you just came on, I am an author of the book Finding Joy in the Dirt, and I'm just asking questions that people has asked me, and so I'm just answering the questions. It was like, where have you worked outside of the United States? So I was a detective in Jamaica. I work in narcotics. I work in the regular policing department in Jamaica for 12 years. I work at the post office. I worked on stores. I work in a restaurant. Shout out to Forrester. I remember worked at his restaurants for about a year, and Sandy as well. I work with them in Jamaica before I migrated here. I worked at quite a few places in Jamaica, but I remember vividly where I worked. I basically did policing for like the longest time in Jamaica. Also, I worked I did clothing and textile in school, so I did a little of that too after I left school. Yes, I know. Thank you for asking all of these questions. So the seventh question would be, are you married? No, I'm single. I am single. I am not married. I was married. I got divorced in 2016. And yep, I am a minister, a counselor, a what else? I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an author. I'm a business owner. Um, yeah. I am a volunteer. That I love that. I love to serve others. I think that's one of it. I am a servant. That's one of my main pet peeve. I am a servant. And so I love to serve others. I love to go out and just make others feel like they're human beings, so to speak. Yeah, so that's what it is. I am a prayer warrior, of course. I love to pray. And that's what it is. Any other question? One child? Yes. And that's a little, I hope you learn a little bit more about me because I'm out here motivating the masses like all the time, praying for people. You know, I love to do that. Right now, I have Kanye West in my prayers. I'm really, really lifting him up in prayer because some of the things that we see that he's doing, we really have to lift him up. And so many other families who are under attack, we want to pray for them. We want to keep them in our prayers. Yep, we want to keep them in our prayers on this morning. Yep, yep, that's what's up. That's what's up this morning. So, like I said, I just came out here to just interact with you a little bit because and do me a favor, if you purchase this book right here, I'll sign this. If you purchase this book today, whilst I'm on here, I'll sign the book for you. I'll definitely sign the book for you, Stacy. www.phoebefromjamaica.com. That is my, let me see if I can let me see if I can drop it in the chat for you. So you'll be able, I'm sure I'm throwing the highlight out there so somebody can jump on. I don't know why yep. So, yes, if you purchase this book today, I'll be able to send the book to you with a signed copy to you. So I'll send it with your name and everything. Go to my website and grab this book, and you'll be able to grab a signed copy. Of course, it's not allowing me to add chats in there. Yes, so that's what's going on with you, girl. After the podcast has launched, after that, I do podcasts on other pages. You can follow me on Phoebe Platform of Love, Phoebe J Platform of Love. You can follow me on Candid Conversation with Phoebe. Those are two other pages which which are which yours truly also manages those other pages. I see a lot of people on here who I love to have an interview with, who I love to collaborate with. A lot of people on my page that I love to collaborate with. Reach out to me, and see when we can have like an interview where we can talk, some stuff and get to know each other more and just to hear your story. um let me hear your story. I definitely want to hear from you all. I want to be able to be closer to my platform, closer to my Phoebekins, that like I call all of you all. Yeah, that's basically where we are, you know doing what we do best. All of us want to, all of us want to get monetized on this page, all of us that are here. And so why not us working together to become monetized on YouTube? Because we see a lot of, look at Kai Cenat, he's helping those guys to monetize and to start making their own money. I don't understand why people don't see it like that. Like, hey, we're here to support each other. Why we can't support each other and, kind of glean from each other so we all can get this money that's out here. I don't know why we don't do that. Why we don't do that. I know, right? Of course, for sure, for sure, for sure. Show all chat. Yeah, so Shout out to every one of y'all. Shout out to you. Shout out to all that you are doing. Let me know how I can support you. Let me know, what you need, and if you can, and if you will be there to support me as well, then it will not be an issue. Yep, that's what's up. That's what's up on this platform. I am so glad you got a chance. I'm trying to take off my nails, and it's so easy to put on the nails, but when it's supposed to come off, it's so terrible. But yeah, I hope I answered some questions for you. If you have any other questions for me, I would love for you to drop it in the chat, and I'll definitely be reaching out back to you and give you like any answers which you need. For sure, 100%. I am going to be out of here. I've been here for like 20 minutes, and that's it. That's a wrap for me. I would love for other people to come in, share the live.